Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's Evan Clementino here from CBBB, and today we're going to talk about the difference between bookkeeping and accounting. Specifically, we're going to cover what the different tasks are that a bookkeeper and an accountant take on. Then we're going to look at who contractors generally use to do their bookkeeping. And we're going to look at what makes a good bookkeeper and how they can help you as a business owner. So let's jump right into it here. Let's take a look at the tasks of a bookkeeper. So the bookkeeper is essentially the first person outside of you, or maybe you're doing the bookkeeping, but the first person outside of you that's looking at the transactions of the business and getting everything organized and prepared for taxes. That's like the umbrella of their tasks is tax preparation, right? And what that specifically entails is keeping track of your receipts and your invoices, keeping track of the money that you owe people and the money that people owe you, organizing your transactions in the accounting program with all the appropriate details such as HST information, supplier information, etc. And essentially confirming that their categorization is accurate and correct for the accountant. The idea is that when taxes need to be filed and paid, they can grab the books, perfectly prepared and accurate, give them to the accountant, and then the accountant takes care of the tax side of things. It's not necessarily as black and white as that. Accountants and bookkeepers can have shared roles, but generally speaking, the accountant's going to take these prepared books. They're less involved in the day-to-day or the week-to-week operations of the business, but they can still take the prepared books, the prepared financial information, and file taxes for your business. Now, when I say file taxes, generally speaking of income taxes, but accountants can do your HST and your payroll remittances as well. The HST tax filings and payroll remittances generally fall into that gray area because bookkeepers can often do these tasks for you, but accountants can also do the tasks for you. And a lot of people hire their accountants to do these tasks, not necessarily knowing that there's other options or whatnot. There's not necessarily a better or a worse, just that there's more options for you to choose from. And that's what I wanted to cover today in this video. So that's the general split of tasks there, right? The bookkeeper is more involved in the week-to-week or the month-to-month transactional side of your business. They're getting everything prepared, staying on top of things basically for you, keeping things very organized so that they can prepare this information and give it to the accountant for seamless tax filings. Now, if you find your business generally is late to tax filings, if your bookkeeper or your accountant is asking you for information on transactions that are 9-11 month old, these are symptoms that you don't necessarily have a bookkeeping system in place that is on top and organized at all times. And the consequences of that are essentially late filing penalties or interest fees, or non-compliant tax preparation and filing. If things aren't completely organized, it's going to be hard to perfectly prepare your books for tax filing, and therefore the tax filing may not be perfectly compliant. Now, of course, we don't live in a perfect world. Some of these mistakes are just plain reality, but if you're paying for someone to take care of you and take care of your books, it's my opinion that they should be doing these things to a high standard and should be achieving perfection in their work. Now with that, let's take a look at who contractors and small business owners in general use for their bookkeeping. At first, it usually starts with the owner themselves, right? You were likely crunching numbers, at least bagging your receipts or categorizing them simply for your accountant. And that's the beginning of bookkeeping, right? At some point along in this business owner's journey, they're likely handing off bookkeeping tasks to somebody else, because we all know that your time is better spent doing the things that make you and your business money, and provide quality service or product to your customers instead of organizing transactions and making sure the back end's all in order. So there's a push to outsource bookkeeping for you to focus on more important tasks. And who does that bookkeeping generally get outsourced to? The first option is usually someone that is close to the business owner, someone that they trust. This could be their wife or their partner, their mom, or a friend of some sort. And these people may or may not have extensive experience in bookkeeping, but can help the business owner just stay on top of things, keep things organized in its most simple sense. Another option for a business owner is to ask their accountant, right? The accountant basically does the accounting, or the business owner may not be necessarily familiar with the split roles between accounting and bookkeeping. So they go to the accountant and they say, hey, can you do this stuff for me? I don't want to sit here and organize my transactions anymore. Many accountants have a bookkeeper in-house or a bookkeeping team that prepare the books on behalf of the accountant. So they'll take you on as a client. They do the full service, the bookkeeping and the accounting. The third option for outsourcing your bookkeeping is finding a freelance bookkeeper, and that's the category that I fall under. There are a couple ways that hiring a freelance bookkeeper can really help level up your business. And the first one is the bookkeeper's genuine involvement in your business. So rather than an accountant who you might talk to a couple times a year, a bookkeeper that is organizing these transactions on a monthly basis understands what your cash flow is like. They understand what you do in a day based on your bankroll, right? And they can be there for you if you have questions, if you need a sounding board for specific purchase decisions or pricing decisions, because they will understand how your decisions might impact the financial side of your business and therefore impact your profitability. A second characteristic is that they're present. You want to be able to call your bookkeeper and ask them a question about a decision that you're considering, right? You should have trust that you can contact somebody and they can help you work through a financial question or some sort of back-end consideration, right? You're kind of like your right-hand man in a way, someone who you hired to help you keep the back end in order and someone who should fulfill that role. A freelance bookkeeper can have specific knowledge on the sector that you operate in and specific knowledge about your business. Don't get me wrong, some bookkeepers will crunch numbers for any type of business, but we're starting to see an emergence of specialized bookkeepers like myself who are familiar with specific sectors and specific communities. They can come at these considerations and these questions that you have with a bit more knowledge and experience in understanding how these decisions are going to impact your business. And lastly, a freelance bookkeeper can help you stay compliant. It ties back into the organization and the paper trail preparation, the extreme accuracy that you could find from a good bookkeeper. This is going to allow you to be compliant as tax filing rolls around because you can ensure that your books are accurate. This isn't to say that other bookkeeping options aren't compliant. It's just to say that with freelance bookkeeping, their focus is making sure that your books are prepared for the accountant. They're focused on making sure that everything is in order, everything is accurate, your books are super clean, so that when you give your books to the accountant, tax filing is a breeze and they don't have questions for you from 6 or 12 months ago. Realistically, this can save you a lot of money in CRA penalties or late fees. And tied in with all the other benefits of a freelance bookkeeper, they should generally be able to pay for themselves, right? If you're paying even $500 a month for a bookkeeper, but they're giving you insights on how to save money or how to price your jobs better, you could generate thousands of dollars a month in benefits that are given to you by this bookkeeper. So when hiring a freelance bookkeeper, obviously there's a ton of considerations you want to make around the trust, the experience, the qualification of that person, and the cost of them, right? You want to make sure you're getting value. So make sure that you're finding someone that adds value to the business beyond just saving you time, right? They're not really saving you time if they're asking you questions about transactions from 11 months ago. They're saving you time if they're on top of your books on a monthly basis. They're asking you questions at a good time and things that are still fresh in your mind. They're problem solvers, so they're not asking you as many questions, but they're also going one step further and taking the number crunching into the reporting and the insights, right? You can have basic number crunching, but if someone's in there, why not have them give you some feedback or generate a report that allows you to understand your business in a bit more detail. This is where the space of bookkeeping is going, and I'm excited to offer that to my clients in the construction space. I can provide insights that allow you to make more strategic decisions and understand your business so that you can grow effectively and sustainably. My intention with this video was to clear the air around the split roles between bookkeeping and accounting so you understand how to outsource these tasks, how to get the most value out of outsourcing these tasks, and what to look for when hiring a bookkeeper or an accountant or both. If you like this video, please press that like button and subscribe to my channel. If you have questions or if anything that I said resonated with you strongly, please drop that in the comment. I'd love to see what you guys think. Other than that, stay tuned. I drop videos every Monday. So until then, see you next time.